Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I have this very rare Yashica 635. So basically this camera is a 120mm film camera, but it can also support the 35mm film inside as well. So yes, now for the basics and all. So this is a twin lens reflex camera. So basically whatever you see through from the lens here will be reflected onto here. So why is it called twin lens? Because this lens here, as you can see, if I cover up here, there's nothing, because this is the lens that reflects what you see. This is the lens that captures whatever is in the film itself. So it's something like in those days, in the 1950s, this camera is very popular and all. So I just to let you know that this is like a basics and all. So whatever you see here will be reflected into the film itself to take. So this camera does not have a light meter. You have to use a manual light meter for itself. Then over here, this ring here is to adjust this. Over here is where you can adjust the shutter speed. So this is where you can see the aperture and how many the shutter speed and the aperture is right here. So this ring is for shutter speed. To adjust the shutter speed, this is a ring to adjust the aperture. So the shutter speed can go up to 1 second bulb mode, 1 second, 2 seconds, 4 seconds, 8, 15, 30, 60, 125, 250 and 500. So yes, then the aperture wise, it can go to 3.5 maximum all the way until 22. So yep, then to clock up the shutter is you press this button here, put it down all the way, then you press this lever here to take a photo. Yep. So then this is a self timer button. This is the this is like the flash one, synchronize. This is actually the self timer button where you just have to press it and it works. Clock it, then you have to turn it here. And it works. So then this is where the ring is. You have to, like, this basically like for this ring, this is the focusing ring. So you can see that if you want to focus your image, this is where you can focus it in. So this is actually like how far you want to focus. So you can see here, although the dial is being like well used up already, you can see that the top layer here is how many meters, the bottom is how many feet. So then you have like focus from here until infinity. So this is how many meters, 20 meters, and how many feet are there. So this is the range that you can focus in. These are the aperture values. This is to tell you that if you use aperture f22, at what range of how many distance is the image is in focus. So at 3.5 is very specific to that range and all. So this is actually the ASA dial. So it's just technically like because it doesn't has a light meter inside, so you need to rely on this. Then this is where your film counter goes into. So other than that wise, how to open below is just simple. You just have to twist this up. Then there you go. So this camera is like this, and also you can use a base plate and also 120 or 35mm. Then this is where you can load in the 35mm film slot into here. So technically, all this can be removed and all. So this is where you put a base plate for the 35mm. Then this is a spindle for the 120mm. Then remember that if you use this spindle and all this thing is where you put it up for the film. So if you are using 35mm, you have to use this spindle instead. Yeah, because the 120mm, the spindle is different. The 35mm is smaller and all this. So it's something like once you roll it up ready, you press this button to tell the number of film shots that you have taken. So that means, for example, one roll of film, you press here, then you have to release this button for every frame. Because 120mm you can maximum take, I think was like 12, whereas 35mm you can take 36 rolls. So because the distance of the 120mm and 35mm is very far apart, you can see this is 35mm, this is 120mm. So you have to turn this spindle here, then you have to press this and manually take note of how many frames you have taken. Yeah. So this is actually the base plate for the 35mm. So it's basically once you put in your roll of film ready, this is where you have to put it over it to give it a pressure for the 35mm to go into here. So basically the film will slot in between this thing and this thing together. So make sure you do not lose this and all, because in today's context it's very difficult to find anymore. And this is where you put in your roll of film in. So once you finish ready, you have to, for 35mm, you have to wind it back. You cannot open it up, because 120mm is you pull up. You have to pull this up all the way, then the film roll goes in and you have to tape it. But for 35mm, this is the rewind knob for it. So you have to rewind the film from here back into this thing. Yep. So this is like how it loads and all. So if you want to load in a 120mm, basically you have to take out this plate. Then you have to remove this as well. So the removing this is a little bit tricky, because I already put it in place already. So yes, then I just basically just have to remove this plate. Then the 120mm will just go over here, because this plate here is suitable for 35mm. And that's all about it. Then to close it back, make sure you close it tight. Then this lever, make sure it's over here. Then you have to press it to lock it up. Yep, so this is actually a 1961 camera from Yashica. So yep, that's all about it for this walkthrough. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and follow me for more contents on cameras. And I see you soon. Bye.